So we have somewhat of a world war here. I mean, there are some major powers going at it, but I don't know if we're going to see as much of results, I guess, in Western Europe or in Southern Asia. I think the big difference maker in this campaign is going to be the Mongolian-Korean War. And I am underestimating the chain reaction of events because I did discuss the possibility of Rome attacking eastern France at the end of that last video. Even if Portugal doesn't have too much success here, they will for sure have success destroying a lot of Napoleon's units. As well as, I mean, technically we could see Russia with the number one military go after the Western Mongolian Empire, especially as they continue to progress further and further into Korean territory, because we've seen this happen before. When the Koreans get their back against their wall, that is when they fight the best. They have a lot of units still back behind, deeper in their empire. They haven't really decided to send too many units out to defend the perimeter, but that's when things were going to get interesting, and that's when the Mongolians are going to lose a bit of strength, because it's still going to be hard to completely wipe these guys out. A lot of these units here, I mean, at least in the out here in the ocean, are going to be able to do a lot of range attacks. That attacking the Korean capital is going to be really difficult. But luckily for the Mongolians, they have an awesome air force. So I'm willing to bet. I don't know if I want to make this bet. I mean, I kind of do, and I kind of don't. I'm going to say, and I guess it also depends on how many turns we get through within this video. But if we get through about, yeah, I'm going to say in the next 15 turns, at most, another great power like Russia, like Ethiopia, like Rome, are going to declare war on somebody. And I think that it's going to be because of this kind of world war that we're seeing. We'll see if I can maybe make that argument if one of those three nations don't declare war on a nation that's already at war currently, if that makes any sense. I might be able to. We'll see. But I'm going to say yes. By turn 480, I think another great power is going to get involved in a war. But we'll see about that. We'll see. I don't think it's going to be this video because it all depends on a lot of different factors. So we have the Philippines not really doing much against the Indonesians, and I don't think this war was going to end in. I guess there wasn't going to be too big of a result here. Let's also not forget about the Champa going after India and Tibet going after Babylon. Those are minor wars, but they could end up having a bigger impact later on. The Zulu have adopted order, and there are some atomic bombs moving around. So that's where a lot of the Philippines are having their success, is through the air, but they can't use the air entirely to their benefit. And bam, we do see kind of Russia, northern Baja California, kind of northern Mexico. Where is this? Is this like Tijuana right here? Just about. Anyways, that's good for Russia. So they got down there 3 colonies, and the other big colonization news is coming from Rome, because again, they are coming with 3 more settlers, more than likely towards Latin America. So we have one. I have no idea where the other ones are. There's another one in Iberia, and then I think there might be one further behind. Possibly. I don't know. You guys probably see it. I'm blind. You guys know this. I don't know what's going on with Portugal. Portugal's having some pretty big difficulties, but look at this. Look at Rome. See, that's what I'm saying here. Watch Rome as they kind of get a little bit closer to French territory. Now, because they have open borders, it's a little bit less likely. The AI does seem to be a little bit reluctant to backstab a friend when they have open borders. That is something that I've kind of, after hours and hours of watching the AI play, I do know that is part of the AI. That's something that affects the AI's choices in terms of war. They don't always like to declare war on a nation that they have open borders with, because they're going to take a diplomatic hit from everybody else. So they try not to do that. So Augustus can still do it. I have seen it happen. It's just a lot less frequent. It's not very common. Okay, let's go ahead and view over the Mongolians. How are they doing here? It looks like they're going to try to attack Beijing. Beijing, the city that they tried to attack thousands of years ago that they were unsuccessful with. Remember that. It was Korea that came in and actually got the job done to take over China. They took over Shanghai, which also they end up annexing that city. Good for them. Mongolia also has a pretty good infrastructure. I don't know if I discussed this, but they have railroads built throughout their empire, which is absolutely needed. So even if the Russians do attack the east, they'll be able to get over towards that side very fast. Ooh, and the Russians are towards the rest. If the Russians attack eastern Mongolia, they'll be able to get over there fast. Russia's been really aggressive at settling citadels and grabbing more and more territory. I don't know if that is a sign of a future war, or if we're just seeing maybe a cold war between the two. Who knows? Genghis Khan's plotting against the Zulu, and Ethiopia plotting against Korea. Oh, I should say that. I should say that it will be a big war, like the prediction that there'll be a big war before turn 480. I should have said there'll be like a big frontal war. If Ethiopia declares war on like Japan or something like that, then that doesn't count. That's not what I'm saying. It's got to be something like Ethiopia declaring war on Mali, Ethiopia declaring war on the Boer, Rome and France, which is kind of where I'm leaning towards. That is, if the open borders agreement ends soon, then maybe. I don't know why Augustus has decided to keep France alive for so long. It doesn't make any sense to me. And Portugal is making the biggest mistake, once again, of their campaign. The second biggest mistake. Because they are not going to take over here. Which makes me want to cry, but it makes me very frustrated, I guess. Because I would like to have seen a stronger Portugal. But she is just not... I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Now, how's Mongolia doing? Mongolia looks like they're going to really strike after Beijing. They're going to be going after Beijing hard. I don't know why their air force isn't focused on attacking Beijing instead of the capital. Hey, they're also having a bit of success here in Saigon, right? This is a Vietnamese city. I believe it was formerly a Vietnamese city that Korea maybe annexed. Wow, this city's still occupied? Oh, no. They annexed it. They just haven't built the courthouse. I get you. Okay. Okay, so that is interesting. I've been noticing more and more AI decisions to... Is Babylon... Wait a second. Japan might be going after Babylon, which would be one of the strangest things ever. But I think we might... Maybe that's where they're going at. Or is Japan going after Persia? If they're going after Babylon, I think they're going to take it. Honestly. I don't know. I can't remember exactly where they were... or who they declared war on. Obviously, there's a lot of nations, and there's a lot of different things going on. Oh, and they have an admiral, too. Here comes Persia for India. Whoa, look at that. Look at that. Persia has rebuilt a force, and now, after a few videos, they now go after Gandhi. That's funny. Wow. And now, the Champa have kind of lost most of their army. They still have their navy intact, but that's not enough. Okay, Mongolia, what's gonna happen? What you gonna do? What you got? It's interesting because we got Mongolia's turn processing, and then right after Korea's turn processes. So I'll need to keep that in mind. So we always go to East Asia for that. So they are pushing forward for Beijing. The Air Force is still attacking Seoul. Is it Seoul? Seoul? I'm not sure. And Busan. So the Air Force is still attacking these cities off the Korean Peninsula. Not attacking Korea or this other city, Saigon. But it does look like, if they use the Air Force correctly, that they'll be able to take over this city. They need to be careful. Luckily, there's a railroad that was built between these two cities, which is so good. This is so good for Genghis Khan to be able to move through this valley in between the Himalayas, straight to the city. I mean, that is going to be the reason why they'd be successful in the siege if they do end up taking that city next turn. How's Indonesia doing? They're still being attacked. Portugal has destroyed a few fleets, I'm assuming, but Portugal's not going after the Indonesian Empire. They're not going after Indonesian territory. Ethiopia plotting against the Zulu. I don't know if that counts either. If Ethiopia were to declare war on someone like the Zulu, like a super minor city, I don't know if I can make that count. Or I guess a super minor empire. Ooh, the Champa just declared war on Gandhi, which means that Persia's going to have a little bit more of a tougher time, I guess, taking over Delhi. Especially because there weren't that many Indian units destroyed. They still have 3 artillery and 1 modern infantry, whereas Persia's kind of behind in that sense. As well as India has 2 triplanes. They won't be able to do that much damage, but it's still something that, yep, they did take that over. They did take that over, and now they're going after another Korean city. Oh my goodness, and Beijing is down into the yellow. Again, okay, so these 3... I'm thinking everything down here is going to fall really fast. See, I don't know if I can count that. I don't know if that really counts for my prediction. Ooh, they're going to take this over, though. Well, they need to bring over a few more units from the Red Sea, which I don't know if they want to, because I know they have their eyes set more than likely on Babylon. I think this Japanese fleet also might be bugged, which sucks. Yes, I don't know if I can count this. Also, let's check on Portugal. Portugal's still not attacking a city for some reason. I don't know. I don't even want to look at you right now, Maria, because this is the second time you've made me really frustrated. Okay, boom. That counts right there. Rome and Greece. That's what counts. I was going to try to argue the fact that Ethiopia declaring war on the Zulu was somewhat impactful, but no, that doesn't matter. So luckily, France and Napoleon got really lucky. And I've anticipated more this battle than anything else, because I knew this was going to happen. Here's the problem, though, is that Carthage has lost. Well, the Roman Carthage, remember, they started off with a bunch of units here, and a lot of those units left after the Mali War had ended. They need to be careful with their settlers. Greece actually has quite a few units here. Remember, this is where a lot of the Greek power comes from. I also want to see the Mediterranean battles that goes down between these two nations. Also, notice the Romans and the Champa kind of working together, just as Ethiopia and Poland had worked together beforehand. Oh, that's going to be fun. Okay, so yeah, we can say this is now a world war, a modern world war, for the first time. Because most of the world's, I think half of the nations are at war with each other. Portugal and France, even if there's not that much, Portugal and Indonesia, which might be why, maybe that's why Portugal's not having that much success, because they do feel threatened by the Indonesians and just the numbers overall. So maybe that's why they're not trying to invest more for taking over France. But France is going to stay alive for a little bit longer, at least. Let's see what Mongolia does. They should be able to take over at least. I'm thinking they're going to take over one city here. Yep, bam. There goes Beijing, and this city will fall next turn. Well, will it? It might not. What does Korea do? Korea's defending this one pretty well. It's going to get tougher and tougher as they go closer to the coastal cities, because obviously the Koreans have a massive fleet. But if the Mongolians can do... Oh, here's the thing. Mongolia is going to lose a ton of units. I promise you, if they end up wanting to take over all of Korea, they will lose a ton of units. And here's the thing. Russia, in that sense, could potentially go after Genghis Khan. And that would be his downfall right there. So Mongolia needs to really play it careful here, because if he doesn't, he's going to allow the Russians to pretty much win the campaign. Well, maybe not win it, but because Rome is really strong. Rome is facing also a pretty interesting battle here. I think they should be able to do this, but you know, I don't know. It looks like the Roman fleet in the Mediterranean isn't as powerful as I remember it. Also, they really need to start sending down units. I guess they kind of are. Where were their units at? Were they up north? Kind of. Maybe they feel threatened by Russia. Somewhat threatened by Russia. Now, Rome has open borders through Portuguese territory, so they could grab their fleet from the Pacific. When did Mali and Portugal go at war? Did I totally miss that? I must have totally missed that, because now Mali's using this to their advantage. As once again... So I think that's part of the reason why Augustus didn't want to sacrifice the open borders agreement that he has with both France, Portugal, and even Mali, so that he can continue to colonize the New World. He realizes that he's not going to be able to colonize and continue to colonize without them. I guess he could. He could just build the settlers here. Well, these guys have gotten over here fast. But he just didn't want to sacrifice those open borders agreements. That's why he didn't declare war on Napoleon. He decided to go against Greece instead. Which right now, as Greece begins to attack, this is actually good for Augustus, because he can sit back, defend with a few units while his reinforcements come. Another Mongolian city, or another Korean city has fallen to the Mongolians. Another Korean city has fallen, to the Mongolians. There you go. Oh, man, oh, man. And here comes the tough part, though. The battleships. Submarines aren't going to pose any threat, but there will be battleships out this way. And no big shock there. The Zulu were destroyed off of Madagascar. Now they are only in the New World. That is where their capital has been sent. We'll see if they keep a hold of that. I'm willing to bet that Zulu will probably peace out for at least one of these two cities. Actually, you know, sometimes the AI just will not do anything. Will just not give up deals because it's just too much. It is Emperor difficulty, but I guess I wouldn't be super surprised if this changes to an Ethiopian colony. I wouldn't be too shocked if that were to happen. You know, I'm kind of rooting for Mali in this sense, just because I'm so disappointed in Portugal. And it looks like they might even take it over. They've got the artillery units to be able to do it. As long as they keep... Oh, they're processing right now. Oh, I'm sorry, next turn. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. And here comes the Roman military. Wow. Here they all come. So the submarines obviously is going... This one submarine will pretty much destroy the entire Greek fleet. Maybe not entirely. Probably another submarine back here. But the Greek fleet will be destroyed by the time these reinforcements come, just like I said. And I'm thinking Argos and Athens will fall. They're already landing paratroopers along. Is this like a peninsula? Is this referred to as a peninsula, a Greek peninsula or something? I'm not 100%. I don't think I've ever heard that before, but I want to say I have. I don't know. I want to refer to this as like the Greek peninsula. I guess I technically could in this campaign, but I'm just looking at like, modern day like things like real geography. If this sort of region where Greece is located in, if it has like a term. Oh, it's been captured by Korea. They took back Beijing. So that's going to slow things down. They didn't. Oh, I'm sorry. They didn't take this city over. Wait, did they take both of them back? They're both at 3 population. Yeah, so Korea took both of these cities back, I think. Which is going to slow down the Mongolian progress, as well as it might cause them to lose more units in the long run. Mongolia is running out of troops. They're running out of troops pretty fast. I will say that. Everything going fine here? Yep, yeah, everything's fine there. Let's go ahead and check on Mali and Portugal. They did get their melee unit destroyed, so I don't think they're going to be able to take this former Moroccan capital. Not yet, at least. Mali won't be able to take it over just yet. I don't know why no one else is declaring. I guess, I'm guessing, Sweden might also get involved here. But again, they tried to get involved with the war against Napoleon, and that did not go so well. Just, having to go through Amsterdam with the river in the way, and there's not that much territory, especially without. They didn't have open borders through Rome, which was the problem. Yeah, that was the big issue. Okay, so what's Rome? Where's Rome at? Here they are attacking Athens. They pretty much already destroyed all of the Greek fleets, and a lot of reinforcements going after the colony that Greece controls. This is the big city that Rome needs to take away from Greece. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice, I guess, if they took over Argos and Athens, but this is the big one that they need to take over. So then we have Napoleon. That's Korea declaring war on Napoleon. That's surprising. So Beijing has been captured back. Oh, I didn't realize. So I forgot about this part. So the sea, I guess it's called the Yellow Sea, is going to be trouble because Beijing is coastal. So that's going to give the Mongolians trouble keeping a hold of this city because they're going to need to fight through all this fleet. We'll see if they capture back this one. They probably will. I'm thinking they're going to force Korea more than likely to peace out for cities. I think Mongolia will. But if Korea's smart and they decide to be stubborn here and they stay at war, it would be really weakening the Mongolians. So we have Korea and the Philippines working against Napoleon right now. So we might see one more person join in against the coalition. Or join in with the coalition, I should say. Yep, that fleet is probably bugged. We'll see for how long, though. Portugal, you really could have used that fleet. You could have used every little ship that you have out here in the Atlantic to help you against the war against France, but that didn't work very well at all. One thing that's helping out Korea is their technology advantage over the Mongolians. 3 technologies ahead, but still can't be that much. Mali might take away a city from Portugal. And we will see possibly 3 more cities. Possibly, I only see 2 settlers, but I'm just blind. Anyways, guys, I'm going to stop right there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.